Okay guys, today we're going to be making strawberry sorbet EOS type lip balms. And I'm going to walk you through the process of how this is done. It's very simple. First thing I'm going to do, I'm laying out all my containers. I've got 40. I'm making 40, but I'm adding a few extras, so I like 44 containers. I've got the lids, which look like this. They have the little round cap inside, plastic cap, if you can see that. And then we have the base, which is just round and it's plain, there's no cap inside. And then we have the grates, which are these, and they screw into the lids to make the mold. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking the lids, and I like to put just a little bit of coconut oil. I actually paint it in, just a tiny little dab of coconut oil in each one before I screw the grate in. This is the lids. You screw the grate in. Make sure you get it tight, and there's a little line on the plastic part here that should line up with this little flat piece out here. And that's when you know you have it right. And then I set it on top of the base. That's going to be my mold for when I pour them. So I'm going to get those all set up, and then I'll come back and start working on the base. Okay, now we have them all set up. All our grates screwed into our tops, and all of them are set up onto the base so that we can fill them. But first we're going to melt our lip balm base. So I've scooped all the lip balm base I'm going to use into this measuring cup, and I'm going to put this in the microwave on 30-second increments until it's fully melted. So it'll probably take maybe 2 minutes, but I stop it every 30 seconds and check. You don't want to overheat it too much. So I'll be back. I'm going to pop this in the microwave. Okay, once you have your base completely melted like this, be careful, it's very hot. If you're a child, you should use adult supervision so you don't burn yourself. But I'm going to go ahead now and start adding my sweetener and my flavor oil. So I have my sweetener here with coconut oil. It's stevia mixed in with coconut oil. It seems to be the best sweetener that I've found for lip balm. It does suspend itself pretty well with the coconut oil. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into my base now, and it will melt really quickly. And then I like to start stirring it pretty quickly to keep the stevia suspended. You can see it floating around in there. And make sure you get it good and dissolved, the coconut oil. Just takes a minute. And I usually continue to stir mine as I fill my containers, because I like to make sure it stays suspended, because it will start to fall to the bottom. So I usually stir with one hand and fill with the other. And that seems to do a good job of keeping the sweetener suspended so that it's not all at the bottom or at the top of the lip balm when you flip it over. So anyway, you can sweeten it. This is very strong. You don't need very much. I'm making 12 ounces of lip balm, so I'm using the whole thing, but mine's stronger than the ones that you'll receive in your kit because I made it a larger amount. But anyway, just gonna stir. And I'll be adding my flavor oil now. And I'm going to be using the pipettes that come with the kit. I'm making 12 ounces of base, so I'm going to use 3 mLs for every 2 ounces. And then I'm going to test it and see if it's enough. Sometimes I'll have to add more. And you can test it with a spoon or with this. You can actually just take this out and let this cool for just a second, and then when it's done you can test it out and see if you like it. You know, just try a little bit on your lips and see if you like it. So I'm going to test it. Take off my gloves. I've got my gloves on. I'm going to go test it, wash my hands, and come back. Okay, so I tested mine and I added just a little bit more, but it was really close, so it's really good. I washed my hands and I'm using a new stir stick. Now I'm going to go ahead and start filling these because it will start to harden fairly quickly, and if it does, I'll put it in a warm water bath to keep it warm. I don't like to put it back in the microwave now that you put the stevia in, the sweetener, because it can cause it to harden and make little chunks. So I'm gonna go ahead and be stirring with one hand and filling with the other. And you can see the stevia suspended in there. And I like to rotate. I don't just do one container at a time. I do 3 or 4 at a time. That way, if a lot of flavor oil went to the bottom or stevia, it's not like one lip balm will be really sweet and then the others won't be sweet at all. It kind of spreads it out a little bit. So, looking like it's gonna take about 3 of these pipettes to fully fill the lip balm. You just want to get it right above the grate. If you don't, then it won't stick. It'll stay in the lid when we open it. So you do have to get it a little bit over the grate. Just cover the grate, the lip balm. And I'll show you here in a second what that looks like. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, this one is over the grate now. So that's perfect. So I'm going to continue to stir as I fill these, and hopefully I made enough, and I'll come back to you guys when these are done and tell you what we're going to do. Okay guys, so I'm not even halfway done, and as you can see my lip balm is starting to harden up. So I'm going to make a hot water bath to put it in, and all that is I get a big coffee cup like this, put just a little bit of water and put it in for 2 minutes in the microwave and heat it up really hot. And then I just put a little water in there because I'm gonna put this in it and it's gonna rise up to the top pretty far, and I don't want it to go into my lip balm. So you have to be very careful. But anyway, this will start to melt my lip balm again so that I can use it, because once it starts to harden, it gets stuck in the pipette and you won't be able to use it. So this will work to finish the job here. So I'm going to go ahead and continue stirring and filling. And as you can see, maybe here, I'll show you. The lip balm is already starting to harden, and that's good. We will be putting these in the freezer just for a little bit when I get them all completed, to make sure that they get really cold so that they'll pop out and not stick to the lid, since we're using the lid as a mold. So I'll come back when I get a few more of these finished, or when I'm done, and let y'all see how it works out. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, they are all filled now. So I'm gonna go pop these in the freezer for about 15 minutes, and then I will come reveal the final product to you. Be right back. Okay, I'm back with Blissbalm, and we are just finishing up our strawberry sorbet lip balms. We've put these in the freezer for about 15 minutes to let them harden and set up, and then I leave them out for about 5 to 10 minutes to let them cool down so that the lip balm doesn't stick to the lid. So now that they're all set up, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to put them together to make your final product. So you're going to take the lid, and there's a little groove. I don't know if you can see this tiny little groove back here, but there's also a groove here on the lid. You line those up, and you're going to pop it together just like that. And then you're going to unscrew the bottom from the top, and this should be the final reveal. And there we have the strawberry sorbet lip balm. Perfect. Using the lid as a mold. And you can get all the flavors and supplies at Blissbalm on Etsy. I'll have the links down below. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish these up and ship them out. So hope that helps you guys out a little bit. Have a great day.